Hello, my friends. This is Karina from KarinaWisdom.com, and I'm back with day 29 of the journey. And how am I feeling? Well, I'm really super happy. I won't say that I started out that way after I did the last recording yesterday. You may have noticed that yesterday's recording was posted a little bit late. Well, let me just tell you that the last 36 hours has been insane. It has been a really enlightening experience, and I really had to dig deep to bring it. After day 28 video, where I shared with you my experience in purchasing solo ads to drive traffic to my value funnel, guess what, guys? Yes! The traffic is finally rolling in, and it's really exciting to see how well people are responding to my opt-in page. And I've gotten a couple of emails, I've gotten a couple of comments on my blog, so I'm getting a really engaging crowd. So I'm very happy about that the traffic is here. Yeah! I know that you've been waiting on the edge of your seat, just like me, to see this moment, right? My original aim was for 20% conversion. And as of yesterday, I think I reported 26% conversion. And today, because I had two squeeze pages that I was split testing, one of them had a 40% conversion, and the second one had a 26% conversion. So, of course, I stopped sending traffic to the second one, and all the traffic is going to the original one. And it's really interesting because both squeeze pages, I was very strategic in how I developed this squeeze page. One of them had a background of a photo that I know that people respond to. It's a beautiful scenery, blue skies, the sun shining, right? And the other one is just a plain white background and a cream box for the opt-in. How weird is it that everybody went for the white background with the cream box and the nice big blue background of the sky? Nobody went for it. You're like, Karina, why are you focused on the background? Well, here's the deal. The only thing different between both of these squeeze pages was the background. And that's what I mean by testing. The words are the same. It's identical words on each squeeze page. The only difference was the background. And that's what I mean by testing. Test. You don't know what your traffic will respond to. It really underserves your ultimate purpose to assume what your traffic will respond to. Test and test until you have achieved exactly the percentages that you want to achieve. Test and tweak. That's really what it's all about. And track your results. It's really important to know where you're coming from and if you're making any progress. Believe, plan, and expect. That's really the core of this entire journey. Believe, plan, and expect. So yeah, 40% conversion. Really good. And I know you're like, so Karina, you mean you have 40 persons opted in on your list out of 100? My original goal was to get like 100 persons on my list. Okay. Here is the deal. I know 40% conversion means I should have 40 persons on my list. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. Whether you should do double opt-in or single opt-in. And I explained in yesterday's episode what double opt-in and single opt-in means. Well, I think I explained in yesterday's episode. Well, let me explain it again. Because it has been such a long day. Literally, I went 24 hours trying to fix this. And I'll explain why. Even though I had 40% conversion, even though 40 persons entered their email address into my opt-in box, my autoresponder was set for double opt-in. And what that means is that when somebody opts into my list, they get an email in their inbox saying, please confirm your subscription. And that is a double opt-in. whenever you're doing paid traffic, a lot of people say that for paid traffic, do single opt-in, and for free traffic, do double opt-in. And I kind of agree with that because you paid for the traffic. Like I paid for this traffic and I have 40 persons that opted in, and yeah, only 7 persons on my list. How is that possible? Because only 7 of those 40 persons went back to their inbox and confirmed their subscription. And that's a problem with paid traffic. Although, based on the research that I've done of double opt-in versus single opt-in, I've seen somebody say that if you're going to purchase like a huge load of traffic, because right now I'm testing 200 clicks from one vendor. If you're going to purchase a huge load of traffic from one vendor, then go for double opt-in. Yes, you'll get lower conversions, but apparently people who double opt-in, they are more engaging. They will open your emails more than persons who have done single opt-in. You'll see lower open rates for your email. But that's debatable. I think if your content is engaging, if you're providing value in your emails, then of course you'll see a higher open rate in your emails. But that's another debate for another day, and that's all about email marketing, and that's on my list as well. I'm going to be doing a training video on email marketing for you guys, so you know exactly what you need to do to build your list. So yeah, figuring out how to set up everything for single opt-in, because this didn't cross my mind until I opened up my autoresponder, GetResponse, and I opened up my lead pages because lead pages was doing a split testing, and I looked on lead pages and I saw that based on lead pages, how much traffic hit my site, that 7 persons opted in. So I would expect that when I went into my GetResponse account, that I will see 7 people on my list. No, that was not the case because I had it set up for double opt-in. So why didn't I sleep last night? Well, last night I had to figure out how to set this thing to single opt-in and integrate with lead pages. I pretty much rebuilt my funnel, the beginning of my funnel, the squeeze pages, twice. And I rebuilt my autoresponder, the sequence of emails, 3 times before I found a solution. I spoke to my coach. I spoke to someone else within my coaching program. Mark, thank you very much for all your help. And yeah, it took a while. It took a lot of research. I found like articles and everything on Google, and now I know a lot about that. So if you ever have that problem, just reach out to me, ask me the question. I would be so super happy to share the information with you because it was a learning experience. However, there was no feeling like the feeling when I looked into my autoresponder and people were added to the list through single opt-in. Now, they might be like, here's the deal with single opt-in. You do take a certain amount of risk with it. What's a big deal? Well, because it's single opt-in, you might have some people who have not so good intentions. So they might enter like their ex-wife or their ex-boyfriend's email address to like get junk sent to their mail. You have some not so nice marketers that will just fill up your list with emails that really are no good. And then you also have bots, which are like codes on the internet that can actually add emails to your list. I haven't figured out how to protect my opt-in boxes yet. However, I think for paid traffic, it's good to do single opt-in. However, for free traffic, I'm leaning more towards the double opt-in option because your opt-in box is just out there. If somebody wants to do something funky, they can just do whatever. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your choice how you want to proceed, because you can go into your autoresponder and you can clean up any emails that you think are not responding, or you can separate your list to, like, when you send an email, all the persons that respond or all the persons that open the email, you'll actually see to the autoresponder. You can put them in a separate list, and so you only have a responsive list. So there are a lot of ways around it. There are a lot of people with different opinions, different thoughts. I'm still testing and see what works. Obviously, what doesn't work with paid traffic. Yeah. And why is that so important? Well, it's all about cost per lead. So I'm going to use easy numbers so that you can understand exactly what I'm saying. So what is cost per lead? All right, so for example, say I paid $100 to a solo ad vendor to send me 100 clicks to my link, okay? So I gave them a link to my squeeze page. They create a nice email and send it out to their list, right? Now, I am paying for clicks to the link, which is why my squeeze page has to do the work to get them so excited that they want to enter their email into that little box, right? So I get 100 clicks, which is guaranteed. What's not guaranteed is how many persons are going to enter their email into that little box. Remember, the industry standard is 30%. So whatever you do with your squeeze page, you need to track and know your conversion rates. So you should be aiming for 30% or higher. I lucked out, or whatever you want to call it, and I had 40%. Now, how does that relate to cost per lead? All right, so say, for instance, your squeeze page is converting at 50%, meaning that of the 100 persons that landed on your squeeze page, half of them actually entered their email address, and so they ended up on your list. Now, those 50 persons are what you call leads. Now we're going to work out your cost per lead. So you paid $100 for 100 clicks and you only get 50 persons on your list. So you divide 50 into 100, and that's $2. So each lead cost you $2. That's your cost per lead. Now you have to offer value, and in between you offer something to sell that they would buy, and you want to make your money back. Now, why is that such a big deal with what happened to me and my my autoresponder today, whether it was single opt-in or double opt-in? Let me explain. If my autoresponder was set at single opt-in, I would be paying 85 cents per lead. That's cost per lead. Because my opt-in page was set at double opt-in, I was ending up paying $4.08 per lead. So you see the difference between having your opt-in page set up at double opt-in or single opt-in. Now, when you have an opt-in page just on your blog and it's free traffic, it's a whole different deal. You didn't pay for it, so free is free, right? So it doesn't matter. But it's just up to you whether or not you want single opt-in or double opt-in on your blog. So what's today's message? Today's message is, where there is a will, there's a way. I was borderline almost getting frustrated with trying to figure this out and doing everything possible, and I refused to accept defeat. I refused to give up, and I refused to accept that there isn't a way around this. And as a result, I learned something new. As a matter of fact, I learned a lot more than something new. So I have taken on this challenge, and I refuse to allow it to defeat me, and now I am much better for it. And I'm really happy that I made that decision. And sometimes you will find that there's just that one thing that's not working out. And you have a choice. You have a choice to look forward and look for solutions, reach out to as many people as possible, read as many Google search results as possible to find the answer, or sit down and be frustrated and say, why is this happening to me? Let me just tell you, the latter of sitting down and just saying, why is this happening to me, and being frustrated, does not provide results. It does not provide answers. If you want things to look different, you have to take a different action. So you need to do something different. And sitting down, being frustrated and saying, why is this happening to me, does not work. That has never solved anyone's problems. So you have a choice. Either you sit down and you are stuck with the problem, or you forge out there, you push through. Either you climb over, you climb under, you go around, or you obliterate it until you find an answer that you like. Like how I found one that I am loving right now, and I just have a big smile on my face because I'm so super happy that everything has worked out. Well, my friends, remember below you can click a like to this video. You can also click subscribe to my channel, where you'll get the latest video as soon as it's published. In the description below, you'll find a link to my site, karinawisdom.com. Just click on the link and you'll jump over to my site, and you'll see a detailed listing of my did sheet for today, day number 29. While they're over there, just plug in your email address and click Give Me Access Now, and you'll get access to my brand new value funnel. My friends, thank you very much for tuning in to today's video. This is Karina from karinawisdom.com signing off. Boom.